comedian David Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So once this is over, once this fucking work nightmare is over, I will never, ever, ever complain about comedy ever again. Like about 6 weeks ago, 7 weeks, 8 weeks ago, let's say, I was like, comedy's so hard. Oh, what a fucking delusional cunt. Comedy's so hard. Oh, you've got to think of jokes. You've got to sit there and think of jokes. Comedy is so hard. Then you've got to go and try the jokes for anywhere between 5 and fucking 1 hour a night. Maximum. What the fuck was I thinking? This has been the ultimate reality check. Like a fucking hard reality check. I tell you what's hard, going to a job that destroys not only your soul and spirit, but your physical health. Every single day, it's just wearing away. I cannot describe to you how suicidal I would be right now if this was like my life. Like if I had got mortgaged up to the eyeballs, bought a house, have massive repayments, and both me and my wife have to work like hardcore full time just to pay the bills, and I was stuck in this job, like there was no escape for like 30 years, 25 years, like you have to work, then I would be like legitimately on the ledge. The only reason I can power through this is because I can see some light at the end of the tunnel. There's a purpose and there's some light at the end of the tunnel. If there was no light, and that's literally as well. Like I'm working next to the tunnel and they've pulled the tunnel boring machines out and now there's some light in there. And metaphorically, I can see some light at the end of the tunnel as well. But I think what's happened with me over the last like few years is, well, I've thought to myself, well, if the comedy thing doesn't work out, I can always just fall back on crane operating or doing like construction, whatever. And the reality is I can't fall back on that. I always thought I had a safety net, but I cannot do it for like any longer than I'm about to do it. You know what I mean? I've got like 6 months in me and then I have to retire from that forever. I can't be going back to it. Like, I am slogging my fucking ass off out there. And I'm pushing hard as well. Like, physically, I'm pushing hard. Because the only way to get through your day, it's fucking like 12 hours. You're there 12 hours and it's just go all the time. The only way to get through the day is to work as hard as you can. But the problem is, your life gets smaller and smaller. So, at the moment, this is what it is. I wake up 5:30. I get to the job 6:30. I'm down in the tunnel by 7. And then we finish. I get home like after 6:30. When I get home, I'm just like, all right, I'm spending the next couple of hours with my kids and my wife. I've got to eat dinner. The kids go to sleep at 8:30. So I'm like, all right, just with them. Whatever, just sit there, watch TV, cuddle, talk, do whatever, wrestle, just fucking get up and do it. Then at 8:30, usually have a chat with my wife until about 9, do the podcast. Then once I've done the podcast, I am like obliterated. I'm so fucking exhausted. I can barely fucking put the intro and outro onto the fucking podcast without fucking falling asleep. Like I'm barely getting through it. So I've been getting into bed the last 2 nights, 10:30, and by 10:32, I'm fucking out. And it's the same again the next day. Like it's a huge fucking job site as well. So it's like 300 meters long. And then today, the access was so fucked because in the middle they were pouring concrete, so you couldn't use the alley max, so you had to fucking walk around. So like 200 meters and then back around 300 meters, then downstairs. And it's about fucking 5 or 6 stories down, and you're carrying shit, and then you're going up and you're doing that trip like fucking 10 times a day, and it's like 15 minutes each trip, and you're just gassed, absolutely fucking gassed. I put up a thing on the Patreon. I put up another video of the fucking work site just to show you and just to apologize to the people on the Patreon for not getting the Jenny diaries out the last week or two, whatever it's been. I can't even fucking remember now. I've got 2. I've recorded 2 in the bag. I just... I haven't been able to fucking listen to them, and just they need cleaning up, and I just haven't been able to make it past this podcast. I'm so fucking tired. I'm older now as well, so I'm fucking finding it very difficult to push late. It's brutal. I will never ever complain about comedy again. I'll write jokes for... If I was working as hard as I'm working now at anything, I would be a fucking success. But I'm working this hard. I don't know why do people work this hard for like a shitty job they don't like, but won't work this hard for like their passion or something they believe in or something they want to do. It's fucking mind-boggling. This is the only good thing about working compared to like comedy. The good thing is you get paid at the end of the week. You get reward for effort almost instantly. There's no delay. It's all right. I did fucking 80 hours, which I'm about to do again this week. Here's your fucking money. And that's the great thing. That feels good. You're like, all right, that was a fucking punish, but I got this money in the bank, and now it gives me an opportunity to fucking, I don't know, buy something, save, invest, fucking, I don't know. If I was still drinking, obliterate myself on the booze. That's what I'd be doing with it. The hardest thing about comedy and any sort of art is the unknown. There's no guarantees. There's no reward for effort. It's just you fucking work and something may happen or it may not. You know what I mean? Like, that is hard to live with, but I would take that any fucking day of the week over the 12-hour fucking grind. Didn't I say I wasn't going to complain like 2 weeks ago? You knew that wasn't going to last. Complaining's in my DNA. It's right down there, buried deep. So yeah, I am really, really fucking strung out at the moment. This is by far the hardest I've ever worked. I've never worked even close to this hard before. The problem is fucking Bitcoin's going down as well, and all I want to do is just buy cheap Bitcoin. But I also don't want to fucking, like, if I spend this week's fucking pay on Bitcoin, which I'm fucking very likely to do, that's like an extra month I'm throwing onto this work, because I bought the Vietnam fucking holiday. I spent my whole last week's pay, or the week before, on Iris Energy, Iron, when I was half asleep. And now Bitcoin's down to 57, and I just feel like loading up. I want to load up this week's pay on Bitcoin, but that's like a fucking extra month. And I don't know if I have an extra month in me, but also if I do buy the biddy, it helps the future anyway. I'll decide that when I'm half asleep tonight. Anyway, fucking that'll do it for tonight. I will get the Jenny diaries out. I'm not going to be able to get it out tonight. I'm not going to be able to get it out Friday. I have a half day on Saturday, so I'll try Saturday. Then I've got a day off Sunday, so I'll get them both done so I can do weekly. And I'll also interview someone again on Sunday. It's hectic. Anyway, that'll do for tonight, and I'll see you the fuck later.